Welcome back to the Tutorium in Intensive English. My name is Katie. If this is the first time that you're joining me, welcome. I'm an instructor here at the Tutorium. Today's intermediate module 5, and our pronunciation topic is content and function words. All right, so today's agenda, we're going to find out what that means. What are content and function words? We're going to look at some examples to help us understand those definitions. And then finally, we're going to connect these ideas to English pronunciation, right? Why do we care about content and function words in connection to English pronunciation? So those are our goals for today's lesson. So we're going to start off talking about function words. Now, function words have a grammatical job. And what I mean by that is they don't contain a lot of meaning in themselves. So if I asked you, if I said, when I say a word and I say picture it in your mind, it would be pretty hard for a lot of function words for you to do this, right? Because they don't carry a lot of meaning. They just have that grammatical function. They have a job. They put sentences together so that they make sense in English. For example, we have the preposition in. This is a preposition. It helps us know where something is located, okay? But outside of its job, which is to connect other words together to help us understand and help us create a correct sentence in English, it doesn't contain a lot of meaning, right? But it definitely has an important job. So it definitely has an important function, that is for sure. So that's an example of a function word. Let's look at this category in a little bit more detail, and I'm going to go through all the different types of words that fall into the category of function word. Now, we have our articles, right? Our good old articles. Those can really cause us some confusion, right? These are function words, the function words. Also, all the prepositions, another tricky category of vocabulary. These are function words. Also, auxiliaries. I'm talking about types of verbs here, auxiliary verbs and modal verbs. So I have an example of will and can. Those are modals. Also, I'm sure, should, might, would, those probably sound familiar to you. Those are also modal verbs. Now, auxiliary verbs, these might be verbs that we use, also, like modal verbs, they just help main verbs. So be verb and the verb to have can be auxiliary verbs. These are when we have these verbs with other verbs, like when I make the progressive, the continuous, is going, or when I make the past perfect or the present perfect, have eaten. In those examples, be verb and have are auxiliaries. Okay, so those are function words. Also in this category are pronouns. All those pronouns, he, him, she, her. There's a lot of different types of pronouns that would fall into this category. And our conjunction words. Your fanboys, maybe you're learning how to use those in your writing, but, so, yet, or, and. They connect, they join things together. Those are function words. And our relative pronouns. When you think about maybe you're learning about adjective or noun clauses and how we use a relative pronoun to connect a dependent clause to an independent clause. We use a relative pronoun like that or which, who, whom, and those are function words. Okay, so this is our list of function words. Let's turn now and look at our content words. Now, unlike function words, content words have a much clearer meaning beyond their grammatical job. They definitely have a grammatical category, but if I said, hey, picture a table in your mind, you would immediately, it would be very easy to picture that. So a lot of content words, you can do this. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them, you're going to be able to create a picture, right? A table is a noun. I put stuff on my table. I'm sitting at a table right now. The table has legs, maybe at least 3, depending on its surface. And we study, we work, maybe we eat our dinner at a table, you know, maybe in our lap, sometimes watching TV. Guilty. So let's look at our examples of content words. So noun, like table, chair, cat, computer, these are content words. Main verbs. Now, main verbs, different from those auxiliary verbs like be and have and all those modals. Main verbs carry the main meaning of the action of the sentence. You know, verbs like walk, run, see, listen. Now, be and have can be main verbs. They can happen by themselves in a sentence, right? If I say, I am happy, be is the only verb in that sentence. I have a phone. Have is the only verb in that sentence. So those verbs can be main verbs too. Adverbs are also usually content words, usually, and adjectives are also content words, and we can really picture, you know, a lot of those in our mind, a lot of them. Question words, who, what, when, where, why, how, those, and then demonstratives, which is kind of like, oh, what's that? These demonstrate, they are the pointing words. We use them, you know, this, that, those, these, to point out things that we are looking for or we want to show people. That's what demonstrative means. They demonstrate. So my next question is, why do we care about this? What's the deal with this and pronunciation? Well, you remember a few modules back, we were talking about syllable stress. I think it was module 2. We talked about syllable stress and what that means. And remember, in a word, we have syllables. Some are stressed, some are unstressed. Maybe they have secondary stress, and some are completely reduced. So we quickly say them, right? We don't give them a lot of attention if they're reduced. Now remember, to give a syllable stress, we are going to increase the pitch. I increased my pitch right then, and the volume, and also the length of the vowel sound inside that syllable. So far we've just talked about this inside one word. Okay, so we're talking about one word and the syllables inside that word. But the cool thing is that we do the same thing with words in a sentence. So we're still focusing on the stressed syllable within those words, but when we look at a sentence, you know, a bunch of words together, some of those words are going to be stressed and some are going to be unstressed, and some of them are going to be completely reduced, and we're going to quickly say those, and we're not going to give them a lot of attention. So one rule that is we can go by, which of course we break this rule sometimes depending on our meaning, but as a general guideline, function words are unstressed or totally reduced, and the content words are stressed. So if we look at our example, with our cute kittens that we've been looking at this slide, we have the kittens were sitting in the basket. Now, kittens is a noun, it's a content word. We can see it's stressed. Sitting is our main verb in this sentence, right? It is also a content word, it's stressed. And basket, also a noun, it is stressed. The is an article, it's a function word, so we're going to completely reduce the. In most cases, this is going to be a reduced sound. Were, in this case, is an auxiliary verb. It's helping sitting. It's creating the past continuous. We're sitting. We're sitting. In is a preposition, in the basket. So the kittens were sitting in the basket. Kittens, sitting, and basket are the words that we focus our stress on. And the other words kind of fall, and we don't pay as much attention to those. All right. So if you're feeling confused, if you're like, oh, that's a lot of information, don't stress. That's the important thing to remember. Stay calm. The main thing that you need to learn and take away from this module is what a content word is, what a function word is, and the idea that in general, content words carry stress and function words don't. All right, so keep practicing and I will see you next time.